Close your eyes for a moment. Picture yourself in a dark, silent room. You are there, and you can feel it. The quiet frustration of a skill that will not deepen, a life that feels perpetually intermediate, a sense that no matter how hard you strive, true mastery is a locked door. You are not alone in that room. For centuries, the greatest warriors, artists, and philosophers of Japan have stood in that same shadow. And they discovered a map, not out of the room, but through it. A map not of addition, but of shedding. They called it Shuhari. This is the story of a man named Kenji. In the modern world, Kenji is a designer. But in his mind, he is a perpetual student, haunted by the ghost of a katana. His grandfather was a master calligrapher, a man whose brushstrokes were said to hold silence. Kenji, however, feels only noise. He spends his nights consuming tutorials, his weekends at advanced workshops, his hard drives filled with templates and techniques. He possesses all the forms, yet his work is lifeless. It is technically flawless, spiritually empty. He is accumulating, but he is not transforming. This is a specific kind of hell. It is the hell of eternal practice with no breakthrough, of motion without progression. In the old language, Kenji is stuck. He is trapped in the first stage of the path. He is trapped in Shu. Chapter 1. Shu. The prison of obedience, Shu, the first pillar of Shuhari, translates to obey or protect. It is the stage of fundamental discipline. The student, under the watchful eye of a sensei, learns the forms with absolute fidelity. The footwork of Iaido, the brushstroke of Sumi-e, the prescribed cuts of Kenjutsu. There is no room for personal expression here. The student's task is to replicate, to ingrain the tradition into muscle and bone until it becomes subconscious. Miyamoto Musashi, in his Dokudo, wrote, "Do not seek pleasure for its own sake." This is the spirit of Shu. It is the ruthless elimination of the amateur's ego, the silencing of the question why, in favor of the action do. The form is a fortress, and within its walls, the student is meant to be safe, to build a foundation of unshakable habit. For Kenji, Shu manifested not in a dojo, but in his relentless pursuit of the right way. He worshipped at the altar of software shortcuts, the sacred grids of design theory, the dogma of trending aesthetics. He followed every rule, terrified of deviation. His portfolio became a museum of impeccable, soulless replicas. He was protecting the forms, but he had become a prisoner within them. His internal struggle was not against a lack of knowledge, but against a surplus of it, all of it borrowed. He had, as the Zen saying goes, filled his cup to the brim, leaving no space for anything new to enter. He was performing a perfect kata in an empty room, believing the motion was the meaning. But a true warrior knows the motion is merely the container. The meaning is what you pour into it. Chapter 2. Ha, the crisis of release. The second stage, ha, means to break away or detach. This is the most dangerous transition, the crisis point where most falter and retreat to the safety of Shu. Having mastered the form, the student must now begin to question it. They experiment, they break the rules intentionally to understand their purpose. They compare their school's teachings with others. This is not rebellion for its own sake, but a profound investigation. The samurai Tsukahara Bokuden spoke of the sword that gives life versus the sword that takes life. In Shu, you learn the sword that takes life. In Ha, you must discover why you should ever choose to give life instead. It is a move from external discipline to internal understanding. Kenji's crisis arrived not with a bang, but with a silent collapse. He was passed over for a pivotal project. The feedback was vague, unsettling. It lacks a point of view. That night, in his studio surrounded by the artifacts of his obedience, he felt a surge of something unfamiliar, a clean, sharp anger. Not at his clients, but at the forms themselves, at the rules he had so devoutly followed. In a moment of quiet defiance, he opened a blank canvas. He ignored his treasured grids. He chose a color that broke every palette rule he knew. He began to draw, not design, from a memory of his grandfather's hand. The slight tremor, the imperfect flow of ink. He was breaking his own techniques. And in that breaking he felt, for the first time, a flicker of something authentic. This was the beginning of Ha. It was not mastery, but it was the first step out of the prison. He was not following a path. He was starting to feel the terrain under his own feet. Chapter 3. The Art of the Unseen. The final stage, Ri, signifies to transcend or to leave. Here, the practitioner moves beyond both imitation and reaction. The forms have been fully absorbed and then dissolved. There is no more school, only the truth of the moment. The warrior does not think of stance, he is simply grounded. The artist does not think of technique, the hand moves with the mind. This is the stage of pure expression, where action flows from a state of mushin, no mind. It is not about creating a new style, but about acting in perfect harmony with circumstance. The master operates from a place of profound silence, where the separation between the self and the art ceases to exist. Kenji did not arrive here suddenly. The breakdown of Ha became a daily practice. He began to consciously set aside 1 hour each morning, not for skill building, but for what he called unguarded practice. He would work with his wrong hand. He would destroy his best drafts. He sought not beautiful outcomes, but true ones. Slowly, the borrowed aesthetics fell away. His work became simpler, more direct, and undeniably his. It was no longer about following the principles of design, but about serving the essence of the idea. He had internalized the rules so completely that he could operate from the spirit behind them. He was no longer performing calligraphy. He was allowing the brush to speak. This is Ri. It is not a destination you proclaim, but a state others recognize in your work. It is characterized not by complexity, but by a devastating simplicity. It is the cut that ends the battle before the opponent realizes his sword is gone. The path is the purpose. Shuhari is not a linear ladder to be climbed, but a spiral to be walked, often circling back through its stages with each new challenge. The fundamental error is to believe you can skip the severity of Shu for the freedom of Ri. You cannot. The discipline is the price of admission. The crisis is the doorway. The transcendence is the result of that collision. For the modern seeker, the principle is clear. Your art is your life. Your dojo is your daily routine. Your katana is your attention. Shu is the non-negotiable practice. The morning pages, the silent walk, the deep work block guarded fiercely. Ha is the courageous audit, the questioning of your own beliefs, the deliberate breaking of your own habits to see what remains. Ri is when your work, your presence, becomes an unmistakable signature, not because you sought a style, but because you eliminated everything that was not essential. So return to that dark room. The frustration you feel is not your enemy. It is the first and most honest teacher. It is the sign that you have absorbed all that mere obedience can offer you. The path forward is not to learn more, but to unlearn. Not to add another technique, but to surrender a cherished assumption. Mastery is not a summit you conquer. It is a current you learn to swim in until you and the water are the same. The journey begins with a single, disciplined form. It ends in a silence that speaks for itself. The stagnation you feel in your craft, your discipline, or your life is not a sign of failure. It is a signpost. It tells you which stage of the ancient path you currently walk. Are you in Shu, faithfully following forms but feeling trapped by them? Are you in Ha, courageously breaking rules but lost in the chaos of experimentation? Or are you catching glimpses of Ri, where action flows not from thought, but from a deeper understanding? This framework is not a judgment, but a map. It grants clarity to your struggle and dignity to your journey. Now, I have a question for you. As you reflect on your own path, which of the 3 stages, Shu, Ha, or Ri, resonates most deeply with your current challenge? Is it the need for stricter obedience to fundamentals, the courage to break away from a convention, or the pursuit of a more effortless, transcendent expression? Share your reflection in the comments below. I read every single one, and it is in that shared contemplation that we deepen our understanding together. If this exploration of silence over noise, of depth over breadth, has provided value to you, then I invite you to subscribe to this channel. It is dedicated to these timeless principles, and your subscription is a signal that you wish to continue this journey into the wisdom that shapes a disciplined life. Finally, thank you. Thank you for watching and for listening this far. Your time and your attention are the most valuable things you possess, and I do not take your gift of them lightly. Until next we meet, walk your path with intention.